All right. You know what? I was tempted to be like, I'm tired, but this is interesting enough. We have found, I think, our two replacements, should we want them. And I think we do. The Cole Caulfield replacement. And it doesn't mean we're making a deal to send Cole Caulfield to Pittsburgh. But the best player to fit the role that Caulfield has been playing is arguably this guy here, Ruben Green. Especially if we can get him an offseason of training, telling him to shoot the puck more. I think it could work. He's got 5 years left at $5.1 million. He's signed. I think. Now, again, if I pull off this trade, that means Caulfield's going. There is an argument that keeping Caulfield and Drysdale. Drysdale also has a no movement. He might not go. So we might end up losing Drysdale for nothing. We'll see. But, of course, we have a bit of a game plan here. We can always play Drysdale in the third pairing, and who cares if he gets pissed off. One more. I have to do the Caulfield move. I have to. And it's just because of the playoffs. 61 goals in the regular season, 0 goals in 12 games. Career, he has 27 goals in 74 playoff games. It's just not enough. So, Green is the target off of Pittsburgh to be his replacement. This is where all that goalie value is going to pay off for us here. Especially Langfeld. He's the guy to give up. They might take this straight up. If they do, I'm okay with it. Actually, I'm going to safety net it because I think they will probably take this deal. Welcome in Ruben Green. Which means Cole Caulfield is going. And I think we know to where. We were looking at the Washington Capitals. And we were looking at Landon DuPont. I'm a little bit worried, like I said, that he and Brock Cripps could kind of step on one another's toes with morale. But we saw that Landon DuPont has an ungodly contract. Less than $6 million for 5 years. Very, very similar to Green, except he's a fucking high franchise defenseman. It is a massive risk to send Cole Caulfield to an Eastern Conference team. But if we could get a player like Landon DuPont, this is the way to do it. So obviously we can retain on Cole because we're going to need cap whales anyway, or cap whale. We'll see. I don't think they take that 1-for-1. If they do, I'm cool with it. Okay, we're going to have to do more. Is Mr. Besser coming in with the raid? Sam, thank you very much. How'd the stream go? See what you were up to tonight. Let's see. NHL. What were you up to on the NHL side of things? I'm always intrigued to know. If you guys haven't dropped Sam a follow, by the way, you should do so. It is good that they want him as well, yeah. We shouldn't, in theory, have to do anything too crazy to pull this trade off. Medium Elite Papineau, he's not bad. James, again, is super interesting depending on how he develops this year. What if we throw in Peters, who's terrible? I'm going to try to nickel and dime them a little bit. Started on CFB, ended with a game with the South Dakota. I miss CFB. And again, if I can win a damn cup with this team, I'm going to go back to CFB for a little bit. Let's look at unsigned. Eiffel stays, Nikulin stays. Lutz is terrible. So he can go. York can go. Still no. I'm not surprised. It is going to take a lot to get him. Start promotion relegation we kind of saw. Ooh. Honestly, I might do that challenge again, too. If I give up Vancouver's third? Still no. What if... That's right, we did have 2 years of Colorado first. They just won the Cup. Caulfield, Colorado's first, and a couple of scrub-a-dubs. We tack on Washington second as a safety net. Take off the Washington second. Go with the Islander third. Jess DuPont. Take out York, since they don't want him. Columbus third. We're close. We're very close. I'll use my first round pick this year as well. It's Caulfield, who has no value to us beyond one more season when we know we're going to lose him. 2 firsts, presumably from a playoff, presumably from 2 cup contenders, and 2 scrub-a-dubs to get Landon DuPont on a tremendous contract. We'll safety net it with a group of second or a second and a third. What about just the Islanders second? Year 1 missed by 1 win. Oof. It's always a heartbreaker. Looks like a third rounder should do it. Caulfield, 2 firsts. Peters, Lutz for Landon DuPont. It's done. The Cole Caulfield era in Peg City is over. It's over. No goals in the playoffs. Sealed his fate. It had to be done. It had to be done. We will see if we can turn green into the next Cole Caulfield. The last question that we have here is Jamie Drysdale and whether or not he will be willing to be dealt. He has that no movement / modified no trade. Is he willing to move? No, he's not. So we might not be able to get the value for Drysdale right now, and that's okay. He's still a great player to have, but we did get something for Cole Caulfield. We did. And I feel like the rest of the team is still in a pretty good spot. So obviously we want to see what this team is going to look like. We got to do our preseason and off-season training and stuff like that. It's not everybody's favorite, but I do think it's an interesting set of circumstances for us here. Let's see, Aiden Hill, who I hope to God isn't our starter this year. Who knows? That might happen. Let's hope someone offers Jack the big money for 4 first-round picks. That could happen. We could end up with 4 first-round picks for Ivankovic. Again, I don't want to let him go, but if they box us into that, then yeah, we got to let him go. So, athletic category for Harenstam. Try trading everyone with only 1 year left for deals for players with equal value salaries in your window. Well, the thing is, right, like getting DuPont to replace Drysdale and getting Green to replace Caulfield, I don't feel like those moves like slam the window shut. Like I think we could easily be a playoff team next year. It's just we lost some high-end talents, you know? We definitely did. Drysdale, let's go with the shoot. Dude, we turned Jamie Drysdale into a beast. Let's go with that shooting category for Jamie here. Still move Drysdale just to whatever teams are on his list. I mean, he didn't seem too keen. We'll see what happens. I'm going to check with him a couple of times. So, Nick Hague, who we know has re-signed with the team. How the hell was he scoring goals with a shooting category like that and Cole Caulfield wasn't? Insanity. Absolute insanity. To have Nick focus on his skating. It's going to be important to keep that. Brock Cripps also needs to focus on his skating, but again, his passing, his offensive awareness, unbelievable. In fairness, Brock Cripps is the frickin' Jamie Drysdale replacement, if you think about it. Landon DuPont. Welcome to the team, Landon, as an offense and defenseman for now. We're going to focus on that shooting category. So if Drysdale stays, we will have presumably DuPont, Cripps, Drysdale on the right-hand side, which is fucking insane. It's complete overkill. But yeah, if Drysdale doesn't want to leave, then that is what we are going to end up with. Jordan Harris, still a defensive defenseman. Let's add a little bit more physicality to your game, Jordan. Try to get that to 5 stars. Haig stole Caulfield's mochi. Maybe it's like Mike and Haig took Caulfield's skates. You know, it's the hockey version. Osborne, again, don't know if you're going to stick around. We'll see. Let's work on your skating. In fairness, Osborne's probably not the one that's in trouble. It is his longtime defense partner, McCarthy. Listed as a 2-way. Still like him to be a defenseman. Let's improve that physicality for Gavin McCarthy. There you go, Gavin. Like I said, I still think we're in a really, really good spot to be competitive here. Carson Cameron, defensive defenseman, but you need that skating boost. And again, we had a lot of depth forward and depth defensemen last year that I think these guys are finally going to break through, and we're going to have to make more changes. I imagine Blake Fiddler being one of those guys that might have a chance, but he needs to go DFD or he's going to get traded, just like Sean Aitchison. Sir Yatsky, the speed's not good enough. Other aspects of the skating are good. He needs to work on his speed. Gets straight line to death. Zaitsev skating. Yeah. What is this team going to look like now that Cole Caulfield's gone? We knew it was coming. But to have his time here end on a whimper like that is so heartbreaking. 3 straight 50-goal seasons, the last 61-goal season. And that's how it ends for Cole Caulfield. I hate it. I hate it so much, but that's the name of the game. Won't sign Kavasha, Pakaslati. Oops. Out to King Mowgli. Out to the Jungle Book. My wife and I quote the Jungle Book or Aladdin on a daily basis. In case you couldn't tell. Fucking 90s kid, you know? Alright, can't sign Matsumoto. Or can't train Matsumoto. Can't train Brain. Can't train Sexsmith. Okay. Weissblatt. Aussie again for the 3rd line is probably staying. Let's go defensive awareness for him. I still like Aussie for the 3rd line. It's just I need people above him to not suck in the playoffs so that he can stay on the 3rd line. And then Ruben Green. A little bit worried about the skating, but for right now, we just need to make sure that you shoot a puck as often as possible. You are Cole Caulfield now. At least I hope you are. Let's see, Cameron Schmidt. Skating is good. He's listed as a playmaker. Again, he probably should be a sniper, but he won't change. Right wing, left wing's good. Face-offs probably won't good enough to be a center. Let's work on the skills then. Offensive skill training. There you go, Mr. Cameron Schmidt. Rachev, you were somebody else who could not skate worth a fudge. Very unfortunate. Eve Robichaud, can't do anything for training for you. Samu Darky. Shocker. Please learn how to skate. Please and thank you. Left wing side, Turcotte, who also, in fairness, disappointed in some ways last season. His passing actually dropped 3 points. We'll go puck skills for Turcotte. Man, that last season... That last season might be the one that haunts us. Might be. Or pick. Great skater, great playmaker, great pizza, Papa John's. We'll go for the offensive awareness, just try to cap it out. It's going to be very difficult to keep Orpik long-term, too. We are very much about to run into that problem of likely losing people via offer sheets that we just aren't allowed to match. Lostarinen as a two-way. Looks good. Let's go to that puck skills category for you as well. Puck skills training. Head to Luo. I double-clicked the damn button again. Press the button. Malcolm Spence. Don't know if you're sticking around long-term anymore, buddy. Let's work on the skating. He just was not quite what we needed him to be. He was decent in the playoffs, though, which is why I'm not immediately jumping to trade him. And then Lakovic, I mean, did find a way to start scoring. Work on that puck skills category, buddy, because it is atrocious. You do not know how to handle the puck whatsoever. Him, Kevin He. Great skater. Still needs to improve his defense, though. It's a two-way. Who still needs to improve his defense? I feel like that's a pretty common theme for us as of late. Colonel Mustard. This is a playmaker. He's a good skater. He needs offensive awareness. The Colonel. Long-time AHLer for us at this point. He's seen 3 straight Calder Cups. Probably going to get traded, though. I don't think he's going to get his NHL opportunity here. Let's work on that skating a little bit more. Spam that A button. Spam it up. Lassikoko. Skating needs to be a little bit better. Typical. Bjorkstrand. Typical. Just keep spamming that button. Dom Foos, we won't be able to talk to. So then for the centers. Michael Misa, it is your time to shine, isn't it, buddy? It is your time to shine. I could improve the shooting category, but I'm leaning face-offs. Like, we need him to be a dominant centerman because we struggled in that regard against Ottawa. In that regard against Ottawa, not in that regard. So you get the point. Diorio as a sniper. I don't believe you. I really don't believe you. How many times did you shoot last year? Yeah, you're not, though. You're just not. You're a fucking liar. You're a gosh darn dang liar. Shoot the puck more. Alessandro. We'll be saying, IDA, get the hell out of town. Eyes Wozniak, who we brought in to be a third liner this year. I think he could be a good one. And the ideal third line is Lostarinen, Eyes Wozniak, and Weissblot on that third line. Stenberg, great skater. Let's improve those face-offs a bit because there's a real chance you're going to make the league this season. Let's work on those face-offs, Ivar. And in the system, we don't have too many to work on here. Rogowski, again, as a two-way, is solid. He needs to improve his face-offs. Like, he really should be a winger, but he hasn't been willing to switch. It's only going to be a +2 at best, but we got to try. Simone Zether. Great skating. I mean, needs to improve his shooting. I think he's still probably going to be a right wing, but in case he's a center, let's improve his face-offs as well. We need better options on the draw. Taves still going to be listed as a junior. Marko Kaltinen almost done with his skating-focused training, which is nice. It's going to be interesting to see if some of these low sixes do actually develop into something decent. Kaltinen looks okay. We haven't really seen too many of these guys actually become anything. But all right, there we go. So that's done. Let's find out the future of Jack Ivankovic. Will he get offer sheeted? So far, the answer is no. We're almost at the end of July. Let's check in with Jack and see what he's thinking now. Still hasn't dropped his asking price enough. Closer, but not close enough. We still can't do anything. We're at the market's mercy here. Early August. What is the situation with Jack? We can at least sign him for one more year. And 6%. There we go. We can at least sign him for one more year to make sure we don't lose him. He'll still be an RFA next year. We'll send him that offer. Try to avoid the offer sheet, which would be a disaster. Okay, Jack is back at least for one more year. So at the moment, Ivankovic is back. Drysdale's back. Cole Caulfield is the big loss from our roster last season. Let's see what this team's looking like here in terms of off-season developments. In goal, Ivankovic at an 89, Hill at an 84. Harenstam is listed as a backup. I hate his attributes. 3.5 for an athletic category. He's a big goalie, but fucker can barely move. Great 5-hole rating. Glove high is pretty low. I think Harenstam's gone, which means we don't really have this great goaltending prospect currently signed. We do have some people in the system, though. Defensively, Osborne has gone top 4. Pretty much guarantees he gets traded. Actually, outright guarantees that Osborne is gone. And we need to try one more time with Drysdale. Again, he needs to waive that no movement clause, and then he's got the insurance of the trade list as well. Will he waive that no movement clause? No. So Drysdale's sticking around, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. It just means it's a lot of trade value that we can't weaponize. So if Drysdale is sticking around, that is bad news for a certain third pair defenseman in McCarthy, who is also going to be traded here. So it'll be DuPont, Cripps, Drysdale on the right, Haig, Harris. I need a DFD lefty. Fiddler, if he's willing to turn, would be nice. Carson Cameron. He's a good skater. He has a right-handed shot, though. Suryatsky is a decent skater, but a two-way. Or do we unleash the big boy, Alexander Karmanov? Maybe we do. We're going to put Jamie Drysdale with Karmanov. That's what you get for not accepting to be traded. You get to carry this gigantic-ass Russian on your back. Have fun. Have fun. And yeah, still a lot of defensemen that are listed as depth options, unfortunately. Right wing side. Nobody taking the step up yet. Left wing side. Spence is now a second liner. He is a depth forward as well. Send him down temporarily. And then Stenberg and Rogowski, both depth forward. Zether and Taves is ready, but we got to play the contract game with Taves. We'll call up Zether. Send down as Mathot. Mathot was, let's call up Colton for the moment. And just temporarily, Stenberg and Rogowski go down. 6'9", 273. He could be a power forward in the NBA. Correct. All right, so again, it will be Haig and DuPont, Harris, Cripps, Karmanoff, Drysdale. Offensively, if we look at our lines, Ozzy on the third line. Green goes straight to the first line to try to get him to develop. We got a tough choice between Orpik and Turcotte. Turcotte, we can at least guarantee is around. He might be able to get Green to develop. So Turcotte is going to be on that top line. Orpik will be on the second again. Hopefully we can keep him happy. Spence will be on the right. Lakovitz. What are we going to do with Linden? We might have an issue there. We might have a bit of an issue. Just in terms of too many players, not enough spots. Misa will stay on the top line. Orpik, Diorio, Spence will continue. Eyes Wozniak is going to be there. And then fourth line, Zether. So we could try to get away with Losterinen or Lakovic on the fourth. Maybe we go with Losterinen in that spot. That could work. We'll see if he gets mad. That way we keep Lyndon Lakovic around. So that means we just need a right wing in a more defensive role. Could be Kevin He. Grachev doesn't fit the bill. Taves will avoid. Robichaud's going to be in junior. Sharkey doesn't make it. Okay, so it's still going to be Kevin He to try out the season. So to show you guys what this roster is projected to look like, nothing is absolutely secured yet. Turcotte, Misa, and Green. We are going to go Orpik, Diorio, and Spence. Lakovic, Wozniak, Weissblot, Losterinen, Zether, and He. Although, I think we'll actually go He, Losterinen, Zether. Yeah. Not a bad team. Not at all. You know, to add Eyes Wozniak could work out pretty well. Could mean pissing off Losterinen, but I mean, he'll still be a good fourth liner for us, even if he's mad. Then defensively, Haig and DuPont is the plan. Yep. As long as the coach stays the same. Haig, DuPont, Harris, Cripps, Karmanoff, Drysdale, because Drysdale refuses to be traded, and we know we won't be able to keep him beyond this year. Goaltending, same as it's been now for the last 3 seasons. And we got to send down Colton into the AHL. So that is what the forward group is looking like. We do have a couple of trades to make. They might not even be the last ones, but they are the ones I am certain of right now. We are going to start off with Harenstam, just because I don't trust that he's actually going to be good enough. No trades found with the block. Interesting. Defensively, they've been our third pair for a while. But Osborne, what can we get draft pick-wise? A couple of medium 6s available. 3rd and a 4th seems to be the going rate. 2/3 from the Rangers. But again, there are prospects there, but I don't really want to check how good or bad they are. And I don't want them complicating an already complicated situation on this team. Because, yeah. Like someone like Bowden's might not be bad, but I'd have to check his overall. I'd have to check Lintner's. I guess we will, actually, because 2/3 really isn't that much. So Detroit, we'll check Bowden's, whatever. We'll check Lintner. On Minnesota, we'll check Rantanen and Meeknoff. Crab as well. Not interested in trading with Ottawa after last year. Okay. It's only those two teams to check. So, Lintner, 73 at 20 years old, so nothing too crazy, that's for sure. Bowden's look like 75 at 19. Not a bad player to be looking at right now. Minnesota. Meekanoff, it's Bowden's. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So Osborne, you had a pretty good tenure here. Pretty damn good tenure. 328 games with us over the last 4 seasons. But it is time for you to go if I can hit the proper button. Buttons are difficult. So difficult. We got a half-decent forward prospect from Detroit. Currently unsigned as well, which isn't bad. 6th round pick to Hayden Bowden's welcome in. Go best lines. And then McCarthy also needs to go. Scotty Ratzlaff in goal. Good check on him. 3rd rounder seems to be the going rate. 3rd and the 4th. Crab, Rantanen. Yeah, it's looking like a 3rd and a 4th. For a goalie like Ratzlaff? How's Ratzlaff done? What's he look like? Especially because I'm moving on from Harenstam. 25 years old, 82 overall. He's not bad, but he's not going to get much better than what he is. So we can move on from him, I'd say. All right. Move on from looking at picking him up, I should say. 3rd and the 4th from Florida, from the Rangers. It's got to be from the Rangers just because it's a different conference or division, I should say. So, McCarthy, thank you for your service as well, but Gavin, you are out. Only one person was mad about it, so apparently it's not that big of a deal. We do need to find a trade for Harenstam. It actually might not... Oh, it probably won't even let me trade him, actually, now that I think about it. Because you do need 3 goalies signed. So who can our cap whale of a goalie be here? Who's the oldest? Peter Mrazek, Scott Wedgwood. Let's go for Wedgwood. Let's go for Scotty Wedgwood. Underappreciated goalie at times. There you go. And we should be able to trade Harenstam now. Short on draft picks. But for how long? Yeah, there we go. Now we can trade Harenstam. Meg, I did not. 3rd round pick. Take a 3rd rounder from Carolina. Okay. So again, we have a general idea of what this team is looking like. There might be a couple of other trades depending on what approach I take with the offseason or the preseason dev. Because some of these depth forwards might be a little bit better because there's a lot of them. But I still think we are in a pretty damn competitive spot. All things considered. That AHL team is going to be sick. We'll have to sign a veteran or two. That team can do some damage. It's just there is a Cole Caulfield-sized hole at right wing.